Kicks 105.5, Brooks and Dunn, and that's what it's all about. 7:48 on this Wednesday morning. It's nicer. It's nicer than it was yesterday.
I will give you that. It is definitely nicer than it was yesterday.
Oh, man. This has been tough. But I don't know if you heard me talking this week. I've been going to AccuWeather.com because they let you look like 2 weeks or a month in advance.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll do this while you're here because it's exciting. Like 2 weeks from today, they're predicting 49.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if they are at all like the Weather Channel, they are totally wrong.
Well, I explain to people that they use algorithms or models,
Right?
And they run it like they have this computer that sits there and runs all night long, and they have different models and different algorithms, and they take and overlay those, and then that's
geekdom beyond the nth degree right there.
It is,
but that's a great sales pitch to become a meteorologist. You get to work with models all day.
Yeah. But at any
I
rate,
thought that would be funnier than it was.
Well, no.
It was funnier in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a great way to get really dumb people to be meteorologists.
There you go.
At any rate, so depending on with that forecast, there may be 70% chance that they'll be right or something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, so
we're on a stretch, by the way, of I think the last time we had a cold stretch this long was back to 1977. From what I gathered. So this has been brutal on homes and autos and
cars.
us.
Well, that was going to be my question for you, since I'm hitting you with something completely out of left field this morning that you weren't prepared for.
Sure.
What kind of damage do people report from the severe cold? Can the cold damage your finish of your car?
We haven't had that. No. I mean, I suspect that if the ice builds up and starts crashing down, or if you're scraping the car, that you could probably scratch it. But
that wouldn't be covered. They don't cover stupid.
Be surprised.
They do.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. But but the big thing that can happen right now is batteries. They're dying. They're not going to turn the car over.
Your insurance isn't going to cover your car battery.
Well, so let's say you were at school for the day or at work for the day, and it was just extremely cold, and you go to leave, and your battery is dead, and you can't get the car going. If you have roadside assistance, or if you have towing and labor reimbursement, companies have one or the other. One company in particular, Co-op, has both. You can dispatch to have somebody come and get you going. And that would be covered by your policy.
Yeah, but what about replacing the battery?
So the battery replacement, of course, is out of pocket for you, but there's obviously labor involved with somebody coming to help you out.
Right.
You see all the AAA certified folks driving around. AAA has their roadside assistance. Companies have an amended version of it, more of a consolidated version, but certainly well worth the expense that it would add to your policy.
Yeah.
So it's totally worth it.
I'm not the only person having problems getting my car to start. Huh?
No. We all are. And, this time of year, accidents. I mean, we have had more accidents this year that I've seen in many, many years.
Oh, I just can't believe how bad the roads have been.
It's been tough. It's been tough because the weather has not cooperated enough for the roads to become clear. I mean, especially now we get that warmer February sun that can't penetrate that sub-zero that's down here.
Yeah.
So the roads are staying snow-covered longer. Now, this actually leads me into a great part of our conversation for the day. One of the primary things that people like to talk about when somebody files a claim, they go, I got into an accident.
But it wasn't my fault.
Well, that may be part of it. It was the snowbank's fault. But the next thing they go is, do I have rental reimbursement or roadside assistance or towing? That's usually the second part, or at least it's in the top five. So that is always when people realize what they have. Is right then and there when they
need it.
They go, my car is going to be in the shop for weeks. I'm going to need a rental. Do I have rental? No, you didn't want it. I didn't want it. What do you mean I didn't want it? Well, you didn't want it. So I always encourage people, think at the time of loss. And then the next question that comes out, so my rates are going to go up, right?
Because of an accident. That's what I always think.
Let's pay you first and figure that out. You're right. I mean, the likelihood is there that you're going to see a rate increase, depending on the magnitude of the loss, the magnitude of the, if there's any tickets being issued because of the accident. Say you were driving recklessly or too fast for road conditions. Yeah, sure. There's a high probability that something could be put onto your record, or something could be changing in the rate to give you a bit of an increase in your auto policy. But let's think about it. If you've been with any carrier longer than 3 years, there is a level of accident forgiveness where they go, you're all set. so that they wouldn't necessarily increase.
That was my next question. I've known people who drive on the road, salespeople who cover a territory, who it seems like they hit a deer every year, or they have some sort of accident every 2 or 3 years. I've been driving, longer than I like to think now, and I've had one accident in my life, and it was on black ice.
Right.
So they take all that into consideration before they're doing rate increases.
Oh, certainly. And it's not just adding a rate, it's a surcharge to the driver that was in the accident. So, if you're habitual, that could lead to going so far as to non-renewing you, saying, we're sorry, you're just no longer profitable for us. And let us not forget, a lot of folks get ugly because insurance companies want to make money. Well, that's what makes them keep the lights on. They gotta, I mean, they're not making billions necessarily.
It's illegal for you to bet on the horses, but it's not illegal for them to bet on you.
Exactly. So there is going to be some level of adjustment that's applied there, but, depending on your driving histories, and they use a 3-year window for personal lines auto. When I say personal lines, I mean you and I driving. You see a commercial vehicle, they use a 5-year window on that. So there's so much at play, but the biggest thing is, if you have a claim, follow the proper procedure, never admit fault at the scene, call your company or your agent, file the claim. If it's on the road, call police, due diligence in the matter, and hopefully things will all settle out just fine. Most people I talk to, especially this year, I've talked to a lot of people that have been involved in auto accidents. Everybody has left happy. Not happy that it happened, but the resolve was what they were looking for.
That's good.
So,
all right. So if you have questions, you can contact the folks at the Barrett Insurance Agency, online at thebarrettagency.com, 748-5224.
And on Facebook, Barrett Insurance Agency.
This has been Good Policies. And we'll return next week.
That was wonderful. That was great.
All right.
Thank you, Val.
All right, bye.